Hello everyone. Amrita Pritam's poem Aaj Akhan Waris Shah, which has been translated into English as I Ask Waris Shah today, is a wonderful poem. Today I am discussing pain and anguish in Amrita Pritam's I Ask Waris Shah today. ਅੱਜ ਆਖਾ ਵਾਰਿਸ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਕਬਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਬੋਲ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਕਿਤਾਬੇ ਇਕਸ਼ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਅਗਲਾ ਵਰਕਾ ਪੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਰੋਈ ਸੀ ਤੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਤੂੰ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਖ ਮਾਰੇ ਵੈਨ ਅੱਜ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਤੀਆਂ ਰੌਂਦੀਆਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਵਾਰਿਸ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣ The above lines reflect pains and anguish of a writer who is deeply moved by prevailing circumstances occurred in her times which has badly affected her sensitivity. These are the famous lines of Punjabi poem Aaj Akhan Waris Shah, which has now been translated into English as I Ask Waris Shah today. This famous elegy is written by the most famous 20th century Punjabi female poet Amrita Pritam, who is considered as an era in Punjabi writing. She is widely remembered for this emotional piece because it was an expression of agony over the violent massacre that took place during the partition of former British India into two nations, India and Pakistan, on communal ground and resulting the suffering mostly of women. Women and young girls were abducted, raped, and mutilated. But nobody wrote about their plight, and so it was left for her to write such masterpiece, and she wrote it so wonderfully, depicting the true picture of Punjab during partition. One can easily understand the pain which she has reflected in her poem. Amrita Pritam, who is considered as one of the prominent voices of not only Punjabi literature but also of Indian literature as a whole. She was a prolific writer and she was the poet, novelist, and essayist who wrote both in Hindi and Punjabi. She was born as Amrit Kaur on 31st August 1919 in Gujranwala, Punjab, now in Pakistan. At 11 years of her age, she moved to Lahore with her father and continued living there till 1947, during the time of partition. At that time, she had to flee from Lahore, but after establishing as a 20th century Punjabi poet, she was loved by people on both sides of the border. So, though migrating from Lahore, she was as popular as any writer of Pakistan as well. It is believed that Aaj Akhan Waris Shah was very much like there also. Faiz Ahmad Faiz, who was in prison at the time the poem was published, it is believed that he read in prison and wept loudly after reading it. As a most prominent voice of Punjabi literature, she was the first woman to receive Sahitya Academy Awards for her magnus opus, a long poem Sunehre, which was highly praised. Being a poet of exuberant excellence, she received Padma Shri and many other awards. Amrita Pritam is highly praised and remembered for her poignant Punjabi poem I Ask Waris Shah today, which she composed in 1947, an elegy to the 18th century Punjabi poet, an expression of her anguish over massacre during the partition of India. Some of her novels are very much appreciated. She has addressed the most famous tragic Punjabi saga of Heer and Raja and an 18th century poet in the poem I Ask Waris Shah today. This is a symbolic reference because she seems to be angry on contemporary poet and writer for time who though have written so much on the suffering related with partition, but none of the writer wrote about the trauma which women have undergone in the continent. So the ode expresses her anguish, which is a call to the legendary Punjabi poet Waris Shah, whose Heer is considered as the Bible of Punjabi poetry. In a heart-wrenching line, she calls Waris Shah to speak from his grave and to turn a new page of the book of love. It was Waris Shah who wrote the suffering of a daughter of Punjab, Heer, in his masterpiece, Heer Ranjha. So Amrita is saying that it was you who wrote the suffering when a daughter of Punjab cried. But now millions and millions of daughters of Punjab are crying. So I beg you to write about their pains. She calls Waris Shah as a friend of distress and requests him to arise from his grave and see the wretched condition of his Punjab. There is so much of killings happening in Punjab that many corpses are lying dispersed in the field of a land which is known for her fertility. Symbolizing Revealing her anger, she composed her poem as an address to Waris Shah. She reached fame as the ode became very popular in Punjabi speaking people both in India and Pakistan. The poem is filled with allusion to the great Punjabi poet and referring here as the daughter of Punjab. Amrita impromptu capturing of the condition of Punjab at the time of partition in the poem is compelling reading. Legend has its belief that Amrita wrote this poem on her migratory train from Gujranwala to India, Delhi, in 1947, deeply moved by the violence she witnessed. In 1947, at the time of partition of India, when she shifted to Delhi, she witnessed the terrible atrocity that took place everywhere. The right tortured her and shook to the very foundation of her ideal world of imagination, while the male writer of Punjab literature were either keeping deliberate silence over the massacre in the name of religion or were involved with literary writing which has nothing to do with the communal right. Amrita Pritam wrote about the suffering of those who were abducted, raped, and tortured in the name of religion. Even those women who were not accepted in their house because they lost their dignity and honor. The scene of fear and violence haunted her mind and found expression in this wonderful masterpiece. She has the remarkable ability to express in word our emotions of pain, humiliation, and outrage as she pull out one of our most beloved writer who bridges distance between literary and popular Punjabi culture. Across script and languages, religion and ideology, Waris Shah, who retold the love story of Hir Ranja. This poem is healing to read, as it names our demon that brings out the injustices suffered by women during partition. It is a poem transcending geographical and communal boundaries, capturing the pain of partition.